Good morning, ma'am. We are third year student pursuing BM Honors degree in Accounting and Finance. This is based on our group report, third year second semester. We have created this assignment under the stream of auditing and professional practices. The company we selected, ETI Finance and its affiliate, Swarnamahal Financial Services PLC. The two companies were founded in 1967 by E.P. Singh, the most popular entrepreneur in Sri Lanka. The company, well-known family-controlled company in the Sri Lanka, started by private limited company and soon began to expand the business, leasing, accepting deposits, and other firms' business. It was non-banking financial institution licensed by Central Bank of Sri Lanka. A few institutions were operating under the EAP business group. It's include ETI Finance, Swarnamahal Financial Services PLC, EAP Broadcasting Company and its subsidiaries, EAP Films and Theatres and its subsidiaries, EBC Media Network and its affiliates, Swarnamahal Media Channel, Hotel Sapphire Private Limited, Swarnamahal Jewelers Private Limited, under the EAP group. After the death of EAP Edrisinghe, a well-known entrepreneur in Sri Lanka, his wife Soma Edrisinghe took over the company. How did the institution fail? So, what really happened? I would like to invite my next group member, Gimhan, to the continue our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Akash. After the death of Mr. E.A.P. Idrisinghe, his wife Soma Idrisinghe took over the company. She was also the chairperson of the company until the death in 2015. After the transfer of ETI and his assist of the four children was the root cause of the crisis. However, in 2011, the EAP group began to face some financial issues. Their solution at the time was take over all the company under the EAP group to ETI. Due to various regulations in ETI Finance Limited and Swarnamahal Finance Services in 2011. On 2020, 13th of July, Central Bank of Sri Lanka decided to suspend their license because of issues regarding their financial stability and lack of their capital strengths. The monetary board has also entrusted the board of directors of ETI Finance Limited and Swarnamahal Financial Services to look for investors who can revive the company during the period of suspensions. By this time, ETI issues had become a popular case in the country. On 10th of July in 2020, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka officially suspended the license of ETI Finance Limited and subsidiaries Swarnamahal Financial Services. Despite its good financial performance, the death of Mr. E.A.P. Idrisinghe and the transfer of ownership of the company and other assets to the four children eventually led the sale of ETI assets. In terms of ETI assets, Do Summit Capital Management Private Limited in Singaporean company bought 14% of the total assets, and while Ben Holding Private Limited in Sri Lanka bought the 16% of assets. Thank you. I would like to invite my friend Udara to continue our presentation.
Thank you, Gimhan. Now I explain corporate failure. ETI Finance Limited has gone bankrupt today due to lack of proper supervision by the central bank and poor management and disappoint money and investment. In other business in nature scandal as we know and now let as how causes affected. It at the end of March 2017 the ETI balance sheet hold was 17.4 billion rupees. Then 6 years ago, the company's net worth stood at 454 million rupees. It owned 19% of the listed Swarnamahal Financial Services has a book value of 1 billion. However, Swarnamahal assets were 495 million rupees in ETI books. ETI financial statement feed with the registered. of companies are not considered. It has other subsidiaries listed as assessed and the company auditors. KPMG says this is the problematic because does not note the extent of ETI problem. All EPA group operated were managed by different members of in every single family. The firewall was down leading to new measure in the group lost multinational assets. Book storage and audit dealers in and auditors for the year ending to March 2030. KPMG stated the ETI is a whole on subsidiaries of ETI and has asset and excess on the 8 billions. Company did not make a joint statement and repeated until 2017. Therefore, the auditors must look at the client. I was a mistake because it was their responsibility. So I invite to Damita continue this presentation.
Thank you, Devindi. ETI, the steering committee, primary responsibility for the background of this organization, which has primary responsibility for the breakdown of the organization due to the informal financial management of the all, including the Mr. Somadri Singh and excessive relief and the over welfare provide to customer is done to get account in ATI informal financial control of the interaction. Uh, in poor management, wrong decision of the board of the director, provide high interest rate for the customer, gathering loans without examination for the application, carry out welfare activity to get the account of the interaction. The informal decision server affects the company its performance. The company when breakdown. Thank you. Continue with the presentation, my friend.
Thank you, Gamita. Whether the FS indicated such thing, the company's net worth the negative. Media suspension of Forging bank investor negating a transaction to acquire an ETI. The banking authority has given new management to ETI Finance and its subsidiary Swarnamahal Financial Service. Uh, thank you. Now I invite to Idunil continue the presentation.
Thank you, Prasanna. The main problem for Sorno Mahal Financial Service is overexposed to gold-backed loans. Overexposed to gold-backed lending is another aspect of the problem. The 2008 financial crisis was caused by the collapse of the Serenco Group, which was owned by ETI. When the 26 billion Golden Key credit card company went bankrupt, the group had a bank and many finance companies. Ceylon Bank was rapidly restored to normalcy thanks to central bank intervention, but finance companies other finance companies are still being wound down, and others such as listed companies are still being wound down. The finance corporation is still reeling from the shock. Selenco Group's run-on deposits expanded to other supreme lenders. The central bank responded by tightening restrictions for finance organizations, demanding them to enhance their governance, management, and capital structure. Wide out as result of having to write off large amounts of gold-backed loans from its books. Its net book value was a negative 454 million at the end of March 2013. With more write-offs to come, ATI's balance sheets all grew to 3.8 billion by the next year. To make matters worse, ATI's property investment and subsidiaries were unable to keep up within the 20% deposit increase in the 5 years leading up to end March 2017. Around 82% of deposits matured within a year, putting the financial institution under a lot of strain. Meanwhile, investment subsidiaries lost 61% of their value on the balance sheet by 2017 from 14 billion in 2012. EAP Films and Theatres lost $500 million. EAP Broadcasting 3 billion. Swarnamahal Financial Services 1.6 billion and Swarnamahal Jewelers 3.1 billion. Net interest expense average 2 billion per year in the absence of income growth. ATI's net book value declined significantly as losses mounted, eventually falling to a negative 17.5 billion in 2017. ATI was chaired by Jivek Ajay from 2013 to 2017 and led by Samir Ganegode. A request to be interviewed for the report was turned down by the corporation. Overexposed to gold-backed loans was the fundamental problem for ETI and Swarnamahal Financial Service, according to their audited financial accounts from 2013 to 2017. Foreign accounted was 72% of ETI's total loans at the end of March 2012. But by 2017, it had dropped to 47%. The facts of ETI's subsidiaries and property interest. On the other hand, are hazy and prone to debate because ETI is private company. Access to information is restricted. Even ETI's auditors, KPMG, are unsure about ETI's interest in subsidiaries and related party transactions. Thank you. Next, I would like to invite Samindi to carry on this presentation.
Thank you, Indunil. We have specifically considered at the financial statement of the Swarnamahal PLC here. So, 2011-2012, according to the annual report, Company Act number 7 of 2007 and Money Businesses to Act number 42 of 2011. According to the report, independent auditor says the accounts for the year ended March 31st, 2012 are duly recorded. The financial statements are true and fair and all are legal. Next, according to the 2016-2017 annual report, also recording to the Companies Act 151, 151. One point is the losses and total liabilities of company exceeded, and other assets and long relevant part exceeded. Therefore, expect for the above 2 points they have stayed true and fair. According to the 2017 and 2018 annual report that shows negative opinion compared to the 2016-2017 annual report. First, they said that they were engaged in the auditing financial statement disclosure definitely provided. Not true and fair according to the Sri Lankan accounting standard. Appropriate and evidence for the recovered Swarnamahal Jewellers Limited. Thank you. Now I invite to Dilanti continue our presentation.
Thank you, Samindi. Now I explain external audit opinion. Swarnamahal Financial Service PLC, a subsidiary of ETI, offered MS Partners the opportunity to do external auditing from 2011 to 2012. ETI financial statement for the year ended March 2013 to 2017 were audited by KPMG. Before to the audit of the relevant financial year, a preliminary financial year and meeting will be held with an external auditor, KPMG auditor. According to Swarnamahal Financial Service annual report, KPMG auditors are authorized to conduct any audit that KPMG believes sustainable and required in accordance with the direct statement of responsibility for financial statement to which the reference. There are other subsidiaries listed as assets. KPMG, the company's audit, said the problem was caused by not knowing the exact extent of the ETI problems. Now I invite to the continual presentation, Chamu. Thank you.
Thank you, Dilanti. I'm going to explain about auditor's responsibility. The fundamental principle of auditing introduced by Chartered Accountant of Sri Lanka, which includes following areas, was followed by the auditors: integrity, objectivity, professional competence, and due care, confidentiality, professional behavior. The auditor's responsibility is to express an independent, objective opinion on the financial statements of a company. As one of their required procedures, auditors ask management to communicate management's responsibility for the financial statements auditor in representation letter. The most important thing here is the independent opinion. There are laws in Sri Lanka related to auditing and there are laws related to accounting. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka follows as standard accounting policy. It is forbidden to enter such accounts in the transaction books outside the policy. Therefore, transactions should be recorded in accordance with internationally accepted standards. And external auditors' responsibilities uh, inspecting financial statements to catch errors, misstatements, and fraud, performing audits on systems, operation, and accounts, reporting audit findings, and recommending improvements. What is the auditor's duty? Ensure compliance is established internal control procedure by examining records, operating practices and documentation, verifies assets and liabilities by comparing items to documentation, complete audit work papers by documenting audit test and finding. Uh, Thank you, and I would like to invite my friend to continue our presentation.
Thank you, Jamod. Now I am talking about how the auditor's failures. Uh, these are different categories in the auditor's failures. Those are evident issues, procedure, interest to the third party, assurance level, etc. KPMG did not advise their client to follow the financial institution and guidelines and to show the real financial situation in their statement. This is irresponsible behavior of the KPMG resulted in a big financial crisis in Sri Lanka, which led ETI Finance to collapse and waste millions of money of depositors. So this is the failure of the company top management rather than the auditors. Thank you. This is the end of our presentation.